What is going on out there, peeps? All right, let's get into what's going on in Iraq because, as usual, there is a lot going on. A lot of real positive stuff, man. I'm telling you. Al Qademi here is definitely draining the Iraqi swamp. So there's a lot of movement, a lot of push. And I can't help but feel there's a lot of things going on around the world. There seems to be some push, a lot of things trying to get accomplished and finished uh, before October. As I look into what's going on with gold and silver as well as foreign currencies, there seems to be this weird push everywhere to get things accomplished sometime in September. So whatever's coming up in October, people are ready for. All right. Speaking of being prepared, I hope you guys are doing all you can to put aside some discretionary funds so that you can stock up on some precious metals. If you're considering buying some precious metals, please give our friends over there at Money Metals Exchange a consideration. The link is in my description. If you go there and you buy more than $100 worth of precious metals, use promo code Pimpy, P-I-M-P-Y, and get a free ½ ounce of silver. Over here, we got Pimpy's Investment Chat on Facebook. It's a Facebook group with the same name as the YouTube channel. In here, we do talk about investment opportunities, gold, silver, cryptocurrencies, as well as foreign currency investments. No politics, please. Thank you. Bring that over here to the hidden things in front of your eyes. You can talk about politics in here, NESARA, GESARA, QAnon, false flag events, 9/11, chemtrails, you name it. You can talk about it over in this particular group. And there's no problems with that, all right? You guys just be respectful for one another because there are people on opposing political sides. I don't mind that you guys post information on there, cheering on your side of the political realm, but do not disrespect one another. There's no need to cuss each other out. As you all know by now, I do have a Twitter account, Pimpy's Investment Chat. So the link to come in and join me over here is in the description. So I encourage you guys to come and join us over here. All right, so let's get into this because there are a lot of things. So some of these I'm just going to kind of blow by and then get to the real important stuff here really quick. Okay, so Parliament raises its session on Monday. Okay, so come back Monday, they'll be ready to go. So Kurdistan delegation headed by Talabani will visit Baghdad tomorrow. Now, keep in mind, Macron came to visit. He's the highest ranking official to visit ever since Al-Qademi's been in office in Baghdad. So he had a chance to sit with many of the leaders, including the president, Al-Qademi, Barzani, and Talabani. So he reached and had them all in the office explaining how important it is for these guys to get this deal hammered out and to stop procrastinating, and that there's a whole new opportunity out there internationally for Iraq if they could just get this agreement hammered out. Now, keep in mind when Al-Qademi was here and Al-Qademi met with Mike Pompeo, one of the things he said in this press conference is that these guys need to do all they can to knock out this, get this agreement taken care of. And you can't move forward on the 2021 budget until this agreement has hammered out between Erbil and Baghdad. So again, Macron coming here might have somehow, some way, gave it a little bit of a boost. I think he's assuring people from the other end of the spectrum, as far as, United States and all the United States' allies on one side willing to go in there and do business and trade. And then all the people from the European Union side of this are saying, hey, we're willing to do the same as well. And all of them are willing to do what it takes to make sure Iraq is a sovereign nation, making sure that they're secure, making sure that they're well-funded for emergency situations such as the Runa, okay? So they're definitely coming here. They'll be here tomorrow. So, again, I keep thinking it's going to be that week, but we're getting too close to crunch time. Way too close to crunch time for these guys to be procrastinating anymore. They have to have a budget done within a certain amount of time, and that budget must be submitted to Parliament for it to be reviewed. This is a good thing, too. The popular mobilization forces completely secure the Iraq-Syrian border. All right, so the information dictator of popular mobilization announced the 19th Brigade had cleared more than 85 kilometers in the desert of western Anbar. So again, this is the border between Iraq and Syria. Again, this providing security for the people is real important. Securing the borders, making sure that there's not a lot of illegal activities going back and forth, doing all they can to make sure that, the people in Iraq are secure. But in addition to that, when the international community sees this, they have a lot more confidence about coming in and opening business in Iraq, which is really what Iraq really needs to have happen. Okay? The House of Representatives agreed to direct a parliamentary question to the finance planning minister. So, okay, it's in here. They're going to ask him a question when session starts. I love how they did that. So, with strict procedures, the Iraq parliament begins their first session of the new legislative term. It just goes on to say, hey, it's coming up. When they get back on there, what is that? On Sunday is when they start. Today's Saturday. Okay, Saturday. So, their new legislative session starts. So good. And they know what they have to get in there and talk about. We know that they need to get in there and completing the election laws. They need to get all those things ironed out. Now it's been discussed, and now they just need to iron out the details, get that passed. And that's one of their biggest focuses, to get the election laws secure, because we got early elections happening next June, this 6th. Okay, so that's one of their biggest focus on there, despite, besides all the other stuff we know about healthcare, unemployment, security, you know what I mean? Those are all the common things that are in there. I like how this says 2 female presidents urged to speed up early elections in Iraq, but there's no mentions of any female presidents. So it's very interesting. Yeah, anyways, again, President Souley, and I believe it says Halabasi, is that right? Yeah. So they're in there just discussing everything that needs to be done to make sure that the elections are free, clear, and fair, and very transparent. So again, everybody is already this far in advance preparing for elections to happen next year. Okay, so it goes on. Look, they want to talk about the same things again. Here it goes. The importance of legislative institutions' role is in meeting the citizens' living, security, and health requirements, and ways to limit the Rona and the economic repercussions of the Rona. So again, they're still talking about the same things, and they need to get these things ironed out. The people, when this procrastinates, the people who suffer, of course, are the Iraqi people. So that's an article I'm going to come back to later. So Sauter comments on Al-Kadhimi's performance, saying he's doing a pretty good job, and he's really happy about some of his cabinet selections. Again, this goes on to talk about Macron's visit and how it's really positive for both Erbil and Baghdad, and how they need to get things ironed out. It also talks about President Barzani in, I believe it's pronounced Ankara, talking to the Turkey leader about what they need to do to iron out their tensions, because as you know, they're coming over the border, and it's called, I think I call them the IPR or whatever. It was the wrong group, by the way. It's called a PKK, and that's who Turkey keeps coming over and striking. They consider them a terrorist group, and they stay over in Kurdistan. So they cross the border from time to time to strike these guys. And so, that needs to get fixed and ironed out. So here he goes, an urgent announcing the 0 hour for military operations in Basra. Okay, so what's going on here? We already talked about this. Again, here's another major step for Iraq. So the military is going in there to disarm the citizens, because they got a lot of gangs. They do auctions in these areas. There's a lot of black markets when it comes to arms, small arms, medium arms. So they're going in there to remove the weapons. And although they said, look, they understand that the citizens feel they need to protect themselves from ISIS, but until they can get all these gangs stabilized and stop them from doing things they shouldn't, they're going to go ahead and remove everybody's weapons. So it goes on to say right here, noted that the current problems are representative by tribal conflicts, organized crime, assassinations, unruly gangs, and drugs. The security operation is not a secret, because we are not dealing with an enemy, but rather we are dealing with our people in Basra. And the aim of the operation is to protect the people of the province. So see, again, this is, to me, is another major step forward. This is positive. Security within Iraq. All right. So I like this. The whole thing goes on and how they're talking about in detail what it is they're going to do. It's the popular mobilization forces are there in Basra to start making sure that they get these weapons secure, and that there's no more threats and people can live peacefully. Okay, so let's go over this one. Look at this. Here it goes, man. Talk about draining the Iraqi swamp. Remember, one of the biggest things that had to be handled, according to the UN and the United States in Iraq, was something needs to be done about the corruption. So here it is. It's starting. Iraq Prime Minister Al-Kadhimi has formed a special committee to investigate corrupted files and major cases, directing to grant its exceptional power and the first indication of the Prime Minister's intention to confront the big wells in the country. Man, I know we need some of that here in this country, that's for dang sure. But so they're going after them. I think what this goes on to say is they start with the lower level people, but they're going to work their way up. Anybody and everybody is being investigated. If you're found to have been involved in some type of corruption, you're gone. Given the composition of the new committee, the security authority that will carry out the task of chasing and arresting the corrupt, it seems there are real intentions to target figures who may be from the first row. They'll work their way up, because I know one of the things that everybody's talking about is whether or not Al-Kadhimi is going to go after Maliki, which he should. But he didn't start off with Maliki. He sure to hell went after his family members. If that ain't an indicator, I don't know what is. This is exactly what Iraq needs. If you want to restore confidence in your government to the citizens, this is a major step. Show them that you're serious by ringing in these most corrupt people. So Al-Kadhimi assigned a human rights team who had previously served as a high-ranking intelligence officer, which I believe his name was, General Sadi? Oh, his name's down there a little bit later. So anyway, so here's what's going on. They gave the general the right to serve warrants, arrest people, investigate them, do what they need to do to just wean out all the corrupt people and then press charges against them. So they're doing all the things necessary to make this happen. So there you go. You guys talk about, again, I can't help but feel that Al-Kadhimi, man, this guy really does seem like the real deal. Anyways, General Sadi, the commander of the U.S. Armed Counterterrorism Services, one of the main opponents of the pro-Iranian militia and politicians close to Tehran, and observed sees his assignment of this type of mission as an indication of the approaching confrontations. So, of course, one, Iran is going to pitch a fit about them trying to remove their Iranian-backed puppets. You know what I mean? That's their way to spy on, to have an open ear on and eyes on what's going on within government. So, having this guy, the General Sadi, go around and being involved with corruption, man, he's going to be targeting these guys. So this is good. Anyways, this article is really long. It's just going over all the things and details on what they need to do. But I'm really happy to see that Al-Kadhimi, absolutely, he is sending the military in to disarm people from small and medium weapons, which is good, because if you're going to go in and start investigating these corrupt people, you definitely want to try to reduce the amount of arms they hold. But not just that, it brings peace within the country, stability within the country, and really does shine really good on to the international community. Watching General Sadi is going to be very, very interesting over this next year, to say the least. I'm curious as to what becomes of this. All right, you guys. So again, Al-Kadhimi, crack-a-lackin'. Iraq looks like they're really full steam ahead and on track. I'm really happy to see this. Anyways, if you liked the video, hit the thumbs up button. If you're not a subscriber, please do so, because when you do, it helps out the channel, and I surely do appreciate it. I'll catch you later.